In 2016, my family and I went on a trip of a lifetime. 14 countries, 240 days, and countless memories of people, places, and experiences. This is my visual souvenir.
What's your name and how old are you?
My name's Eve and I'm 11 years old.
I'm Alex and I'm 20 years old.
I'm Michelle and I'm 47.
What countries did we go to?
Canada,
America,
Mexico, Peru,
Argentina,
Chile,
New Zealand,
Australia, Cambodia,
Vietnam,
China.
Hong Kong and India.
What made you decide to do this?
It was a collection of a lot of different reasons, and mostly it was just feeling like I needed to get out there in life and start living and exploring, and that the lifestyle we were living just wasn't a healthy, fulfilling lifestyle, and I wanted to share with the children while we had that window of time to show them everything that's in the world and experience that.
What was it like leaving school for a year?
It wasn't bad because one, I knew that I'd have all my friends' phone numbers, and two, most of my friends were going to the same secondary school as I was going to.
What's the easiest way to sleep on a plane?
There isn't really one. You just sort of have to be like very tired. Maybe just like miss out on a night of sleep before, so you just fall asleep anyway.
What's your favourite country?
I don't really think it's like favourite countries. I think it's moments that happened, or places we saw, or people we met in each country. So literally every country held something really special. But I loved Cambodia and Peru. I thought they were fascinating. China was amazing because it was so unusual. New Zealand, the landscapes were phenomenal, and coming around a corner and just seeing something completely unexpected that had not been on our list of things we wanted to see or places we wanted to go, things that we stumbled across. So each country was amazing in different ways.
My favourite country, it used to be Peru, but now it's America because we had so many like cool adventures, and like more stuff sort of went wrong, so it's kind of more adventurous and fun.
I think my favourite country was probably either America or New Zealand. I really liked America because like it's such a vast country. There's just so much to see. It's not like England where it's all the same sort of climate and it looks the same. It's just forest everywhere. Like America is a huge country, and you can't appreciate that until you've sort of been there. But New Zealand, I really like New Zealand, obviously, because we have family there and whatnot.
Can you talk a bit about the planning process?
The planning process was so difficult. To begin with, I researched countries that I wanted to go to and places, things that I'd seen that I thought I'd like to experience that and see that. So that dictated what countries I wanted to go to. But then when it came to booking it, I realised that you can't just fly from here to there and there to there. You have to go via certain routes. So I then had to replan a lot of things. And then as well as what we were going to do and where we were going to go, we had to plan how to get out of the life we were in. To sort the house out and to make preparations to actually be able to go and in the first place.
What did you think about all the different animals we saw?
I thought they were extremely cool, especially in Australia. We saw like with the kangaroos and koala bears. I thought that was like just so cool.
Would you ever do something similar with your family in the future?
Yeah, definitely. I felt like it was such a good experience. Like, I'd definitely love to do something similar with my kids, given the chance. I'd go to some of the same countries, so countries like America and New Zealand, Australia, I really loved those. But some countries, I sort of feel like we did everything there is to do, so to speak. So I'd definitely do some countries again, but not all of them.
What's your least favourite country and why?
My least favourite country, I don't have one because they're just all really cool.
Again, it wasn't so much the least favourite country, it was kind of things that we had to adjust to that were a harsh adjustment. Like, I loved Peru, but the altitude was difficult at times. The altitude is here, but they are the cloud just there. And it was one of those countries where we came from somewhere really hot and suddenly it was a bit chilly. Argentina was really difficult because just their days are set up so differently to how I'm used to living. So, like, they quite often eat dinner at 10 o'clock at night, whereas I'd be really tired by 10 o'clock at night, and it was cold. But again, there was really wonderful things that happened in those countries that made up for it.
My least favourite country, it was probably Vietnam, and that's because I just felt like there wasn't we didn't really do a huge amount of stuff there. Obviously that was in part due to the weather, but I just felt like there wasn't a lot of stuff we could really do without travelling all the way down to the south, sort of thing.
What was the hardest thing about travelling?
I think the hardest thing was, apart from spending money all the time, was having to plan. When I thought about going travelling, I thought we'd be free for a year. And the hardest thing was realising that we couldn't be completely free, that people plan a lot in advance and that we had to plan as also, accommodation and how to get from A to B. And I think that was the most difficult thing, was the realisation that we weren't just free to roam.
Which country had the best food?
Peru, definitely. So many natural soups and homemade stuff.
How was the internet access throughout the places we went?
Some places were pretty good. Some places had really good internet, but other places were so America is just everything's for sale, so you can't really get good internet unless you pay a ridiculous amount. New Zealand as well, that was pretty bad. You get 100 megabytes of data, which is enough for not a lot of internet usage basically, unless you paid silly money.
Alright, so where did we all feel most and least safe?
I think most safe was definitely the English speaking countries.
Yeah.
And I know it sounds sort of bad saying that, but I feel being able to just convey what you mean to someone, if you need help or whatever, it just gives you that much.
If something was wrong, we could
solve
do
the
something
issue
to fix it, yeah.
Yeah.
I felt the most safest in when we were with Jack. I felt the least safest when it was that time where Jack had we were departing from him and we were in that weird hotel place.
San Francisco.
Oh wait,
Yeah.
and in Extraterrestrial Highway, that place.
Pretty creepy, yeah.
Yeah.
And Kingman as well.
Yeah.
Kingman definitely least
Kingman,
safe.
mostly because it was so intense breaking down and not knowing how
And then
to...
later finding
to
out
do.
it was near a federal prison. It's quite...
I felt the most unsafe when we arrived at a country and got in the taxi.
Yeah.
Because they were all dodgy.
Yeah. I don't think we had a single good taxi from the airport.
No.
With maybe a few exceptions.
Yeah, but there was definitely some that were worse than others.
Yeah.
Where were we when we went off to that really strange place in the middle of nowhere, and it was all plastic wrapped inside the... There was plastic all over the inside of the taxi.
That was the Vietnam taxi.
Yeah, and he drove us to some really secluded place, but then we realised he was just getting petrol and then he shot back onto the motorway the wrong way. He went up the exit ramp at about 70 kilometres an hour.
Yeah.
Zipped in between the cars and...
Yeah.
And the motorway in India, where two
yeah.
trucks had just had a head-on
God,
on
yeah.
the motorway.
But the most dangerous places were probably the things that we did ourselves, like going to Fox Glacier.
yeah.
Yeah.
Was the trip tiring?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we
at
all...
times it really was.
Yeah, we all crashed. I think we crashed a bit in LA, and then again in
Yeah.
Malaysia, and again in
Yeah.
India.
And
I
I
think
think there was I think we were okay as long as we had like a plan. Like America was so full of plans. We wanted to see this and we wanted to see that.
Yeah.
But every time we reached a country and we'd either like done whatever the things that we wanted to do in that area, whenever we were left to our own devices, we all got really lazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't believe how well we adjusted, because before we'd be like, oh no, we've got a 4-hour flight. And then we were literally turning up to places without knowing, weren't we? Going,
Yeah.
oh, how long's this flight? And
Oh,
someone would go,
6 hours and that's fine.
We'd be
Yeah.
like, oh, that's all right.
Yeah.
Another place was New Zealand when we got there, because we've been
Yeah.
up
Yeah.
I mean, that took ages.
The flight was 13 hours from Chile.
And we'd left we couldn't get an extension in the Airbnb in Chile, could we?
No.
So we had a whole day of dossing around first before the journey even started.
Yeah.
And I just remember when we got to New Zealand, you lot fell asleep in the back
I
of the
did.
car. Or,
Oh, in the car, yeah.
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 and then we got up to where we were staying. And the last thing I said was, I'll go to the shop for a minute for tea,
Yeah.
get something for dinner.
I
And
started
then
watching The Walking Dead on the sofa, and then like 2 hours later, everyone was really quiet, so I was like, where is everyone? What's happened? I went in, you were asleep, you were asleep, you were asleep. You had something playing on your tablet. All the lights were on, curtains open, it was like dark outside.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh my god.
It was so confusing because I woke up and it was pitch black. And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it felt to me like it should have been for us about
That was
1
our
in the
night's sleep.
afternoon or,
Yeah.
early evening, and it was
Yeah.
3 o'clock in the
Yeah.
morning and I was wide awake.
I remember just like, as you said, just waking up and it's pitch black outside, and it's like
What the hell?
my phone was out of charge, and
Yeah.
I think all of you were asleep at that point, so I just had no idea. Like, it could have been 7 o'clock in the evening on like 2 in the morning. I just had no idea
Yeah.
until I turned my phone
It was
on.
like when we first got to Canada as well. We all woke up at like
Yes,
4
that was
a.m.
the same.
Like our
Yeah.
very first day of not being at home, we woke up in the Airbnb and it was like 5 a.m. and we were all just like, well, we're awake for the day. What do
Yeah.
we do?
Mm.
Worst moments.
Oh, I had one.
Ooh.
Oh.
The Indian airport security.
I was just about to say.
And like that wasn't
Oh, yeah.
necessarily, that wasn't bad because it was like a big issue that we couldn't solve, sort of thing. It was just bad because of their attitude.
Yeah.
And it just like
Yeah.
it just
Should we
put us in a
explain-
mood. It just put us in a mood.
Can we talk
and then
about
it
what
ruined like the whole
Yeah.
day.
For our flight home, we were in Goa. And we had to fly from Goa to Mumbai and then Mumbai to London. What happened first? So we left Goa at like 4 a.m. Got to the airport.
Well, we couldn't get into the airport.
Couldn't get into the
right from the
airport.
start without having a paper copy of our tickets, which we could get up the bit further along.
But we had to pay to print it
Yeah,
out.
we had to pay to print it out, but it was all just a bit confusing, and it was the fact that you couldn't even get in the airport. There was armed security. It all seemed really heavy. Airport security it's never good, is it?
Yeah, you can never sort of gauge what they're going to be like. Anyway, going back to the flight home, we couldn't get through security because Eve had this little teddy bear.
Basically thought the teddy bear was a bomb.
Goa was the suitcase, and
Oh yeah.
Oh my god, I
where
forgot
the
about that.
wheel had come off Abby's suitcase, and was taken right the way back down to sign the
Oh.
paperwork to say it was already done. And then they wouldn't let you through that first bit with all your bits and bobs, and they let the woman through with the big metal trident.
Yeah.
God, yeah, she had
And
like,
another guy with a knife.
Yeah.
and we
Yeah,
went
they
up
wouldn't-
through with a little teddy bear like that
Yeah,
big,
but
like a
they
kid's
wouldn't-
teddy bear. So what was it like being around family 24/7?
Annoying.
Why was it annoying?
Because you do make noises in your sleep, like, and just
Yeah.
arguments and who's
You were the one that caused the most arguments. Don't try and blame that on
To be
us.
fair.
When you're around the same people 24/7 for like 200 plus days, you notice weird little habits.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know. You stop.
Apparently, I make strange noises when I chew, which.
He does.
The way Eve walks, she can't.
Oh my God,
sort of
she's like-
walk.
Oh my god, yeah, you're so annoying when you do
So
that.
we can't just walk down the
Maddie
road.
does it
Eve
as
will be
well.
Weaving in and out.
Yeah, I probably do.
None of you can walk in a straight line.
It was
Well,
tough.
If I did such a
Actually,
bad
it
job,
wasn't
why
tough.
was it my job?
We all got on really
Yeah.
well. We do get on really
Yeah.
well, and we all brought such important things to the group.
Yeah.
And sometimes those sort of things were the things that annoyed us, in a weird way. Like, you know, Eve was always full of energy and up for doing anything.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
sometimes that would be like when we all just wanted to chill about. That would be difficult for Eve to.
Sit around when we're all not
old
really
and tired.
doing yeah. We were all together for the majority of it, but we did meet up with some people, and you know, when we were
Asian
staying
movies.
with our cousins and
It's
our
so
uncle and
fun.
auntie in New Zealand, it was really nice because it was a break from our family and meeting family who we hadn't even met before.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it was
And
definitely
old friends.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
We're
met.
catching up with, and you know, all their hospitality is wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
how do we deal with all the different bugs and insects?
It wasn't really that bad.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah,
massive.
It was about
massive.
that big.
The mosquitoes in India were quite aggressive.
Oh my God,
I
yeah.
have so many.
I
I reacted
didn't get
to
any.
every single bite in India.
So in China, when we were walking down that street market, and there was like, I know it doesn't really count, but there were like insects that people could buy to eat,
Yeah.
And they were live as
and they
well.
were alive
They just
on
like
skewers.
stick them
and,
on a skewer and put them on a bit of fire, and then it's good to serve.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't
Bit
really
smelly.
afraid of coming across insects when we were just on our day-to-day thing. For me, it was more like
the suitcase.
Yeah, the suitcases.
Yeah.
And towels.
When we got to certain places that were less than desirable, we wouldn't open our suitcase
Yeah.
at all.
No.
I think the only time I really worried about stuff was actually in America because, you know, we were in a lot of isolated places, and you know there were snakes around, and we would be going sort of off beaten
Yeah.
track. You know, and you know I did worry about bears in the national park.
Mum, watch out, it's a snake.
Kyle.
But that was
Yeah.
quite early on in
Yeah.
the journey, and I was quite wary of things, and I think we soon sort of kind of lost that, didn't we?
Yeah. I think the
Not
more
worrying.
places we went, the less we kind of worried.
Yeah.
But we did all
Yeah.
say that when we came home, we see more spiders in our house
Yeah, for
than
sure.
we did anywhere else where we went,
that
apart
could-
from Tarantula Highway. Which I loved meeting all the different people.
Yeah.
They really made the trip for us, and from you know the girls at the station.
In Kingdom.
Jamie, yeah, who really saved our skin. The
Because-
crowd in Cambodia, and the guy
Yeah.
who basically offered to take a photo of us, and then this really magical moment happened from there, and there was like loads of people came into the photo. And,
I think there was about maybe
it was
10 to
great.
15
Yeah,
of us,
that was a fair amount.
and everyone was just
really
happy.
yeah,
and
really happy, high
Yeah.
energy.
My favourite part was when we met Asian Ruby when we were swimming, because
Yeah.
they're my
I
age.
like
Yeah.
that.
Because I never
They're
saw
sort of
anyone
between our
my
age.
age.
Hi, Asia and Ruby.
And I would like to. Sorry, go on, Jo.
And it's fun because you're swimming in the swimming pool all the time.
Is that? What was that?
Fly!
We're good. We're good.
I
It's
thought it was
gone.
a wasp.
It was.
Was
Yeah.
it?
Yeah. Still not used to the bugs.
What I was saying earlier about, you know, which countries, you said which countries did we like the most, and I said it was more the moments, and
Yeah.
for me it was, you know, one of those moments that are really sticking with me is when Shrew took us out on his boat,
That was amazing.
and then Donna took us over to that little island, and that was magical.
Yeah.
Apart from seeing dolphins in the wild,
That
and
was wicked.
the actual island itself was like something out of a
It was like a tropical island.
dreamy, yeah.
It's just something we'd never ever
Yeah.
seen before.
Yeah.
Buzzing around
That's
my
definitely
ears.
one of the best moments, is just seeing stuff that you would never ever see if we had stayed in England for the year,
Yeah.
like the red rocks in America and
Oh yeah.
the, you know, like the
Antelope Canyon.
glacial water and like
Oh, the glacier water was
in New
amazing.
Zealand, yeah.
Basically,
It
we
was-
Hook of
realised
balls, you know, I wasn't expecting
No.
that. I was thinking, because you get a bit blasé when you've seen so many amazing things,
Yeah.
you're just a bit, oh, can we be bothered to do that?
Yeah.
And we thought, well, we will. And we walked down, and just that volume of water,
Yeah.
and it was so blue.
It was so cool.
It's-
I thought it was just going to be a waterfall.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
that's
it was
what I thought.
amazing.
It's more. I mean, it is a waterfall, but it's more of a horizontal waterfall, isn't it?
Yeah.
And when we went into water and it was warm,
Yeah.
Oh, that
you
was
know,
so
In
wherever it
Mexico.
was, and you just walk in.
It would just feel like it wouldn't feel like there was a temperature difference between the
Yeah.
air and the water. It just felt like
You could just you just could like
you wouldn't even notice it.
So proud of all of you, and you know, yeah, definitely.
Thank you.
it was incredible, and thank you for
Yeah.
taking us.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, it really was a once in a lifetime.
Yeah.
I really
opportunity,
couldn't
so
have
thank
done it
you.
without you anyway.
all right. Well, I think that's a wrap.
Yeah.
Yeah.